What's going on, my good people? Today we're back with a pretty interesting video. We're going to be talking about dreams. I've been studying dreams for the last 2 years of my life. When I was a child, I had some really profound dreams that I remember so vividly and will remember till the day I die. And I've always been fascinated by it. My mother, she was also a person who got strong dreams, which often were very prophetic. So the things she would see in her dreams would often, you'd see that come into fruition in real life. And myself, I've always had dreams, and my way into the dream world was through nightmares. I was having tremendous nightmares consistently, and I remember them very vividly, and it was my doorway into understanding what these dreams actually are. Because your dreams are messages from the soul. They are messages from the divine, because the divine light shines through us, through our soul, and pushes everything outwards. That's how we can be of service to God, to source, to divine, to the creative flow that created existence. And when we go sleep every night, we're shown symbols, we're shown colors, imageries, fantasies, a blend of things that happened the days prior to some of the wildest things we haven't even thought of or could even ever imagine. It's all appearing in front of us as a story, and most of us pawn this off as irrelevant, as nothing, as just a gobbledygook of stuff that we just go back to sleep and that's it. But actually, the alchemists created a foundation that, when you understand the principles of alchemy and also Jungian philosophy and just understanding the principles of the psyche, when you blend them together, you can start picturing and forming a idea about what dreams are. And in this dream and in this video, I want to share with you a particular dream that I had on the 17th of September. And I drew the dream image, because this is one of the ways you integrate dreams and bring the dream to life, to give it symbolic nature, to start understanding the intricacies of the dream. And it's a really amazing way to take the dream image and bring it into physical manifestation, so that you can start working with the elements, because your dreams are telling you things. Your dreams are telling you things that, when we're awake in our waking reality and we're walking around the streets and we're dialoguing with our family and we're getting annoyed and we're getting happy, we're picking up information, but the conscious mind can only pick up a slither, like a 0.1% of what's actually out there. The 99.9% of stuff is still being received as information, as frequency, as signals via the brain. Yet what is picked up is the unconscious mind of the psyche picks up all of that information and it stores it as a memory bank. So what the dreams actually are visions into the things we have been unwilling to see, to meet, the things that we haven't seen in our waking reality, the things the ego hasn't picked up on, the opposites of the ego, all of the shadow material, all of the stuff we've suppressed for many years of our lives, even ancestral or even collective stuff, the stuff that isn't particularly ours in a way, it's a collective pattern but exists within us. And we have all these things, and the dream is showing us our relationship to that. The dream can help guide us to understand how we must navigate our life's choices. What is the best choice to make? The dreams often show us the future in a way. It has a very prophetic sense that it can sort of predict that if you continue this course of action, this is what will likely happen. And which is why dreams can often predict illness or death or things of that nature. So with that little background on dreams, I will be producing more videos in the future about dreams, so please stay tuned, follow me, and my channel will probably end up being a dream channel. But I want to today talk to you about this. This was a dream that I had on 17th of September. And the dream, oftentimes they're personal, and there is a personal relationship to this dream and the dream images, but sometimes they're deeper than that, they're bigger than that. And in this dream, I am witnessing something. And so I will just tell you the dream as I saw it. I was witnessing something. There is this huge river that's fast moving, and there is a wall, and over the wall is a city, and there is also a city on the other side of the river. And on this fast flowing blue river, there is a submarine slash ship. Half of it is under the water, half of it is over the water. And it's moving fast, and it's black, and it's dull, and it's dark. This dark, shadowy boat is moving across. And it's going very fast. And what I see is that it's dumping these robots, these cyborgs, and they were black robots with red eyes, and they're dumping hundreds of them into the water. And the robots were swimming and gliding underneath the water with tremendous speed. And I began to witness that deep from underneath the river, the darkness, the deep blue, emerges mermaids. And these mermaids are swimming upwards towards the robots. The mermaids reach the robots, and they don't fight them. They don't battle them with the same strength or power. Instead, the mermaids merge with the robot, and they fuse together, and the mermaid's presence fuses into the robots, and the robot looks the same, but now it has the mermaid energy within it. And in the dream, I felt as if the mermaids were a positive energy, and they were shifting something within the robot to a more positive light. And so now the robots were themselves, but they were controlled by the mermaid energy. And that was the end of the dream. Now, the dream image, if I could present it to you, looks like this. And so as you can see, a dream like this, it's very difficult to get a personal connection, because the dream images are just so wild and out there, you know. And when was the last time I thought or believed, or when was the last time I thought about mermaids and robots, you know? But your dream maker, the inner dream maker that presents you the dreams, your soul, is using that imagery to detail a phenomena, a psychic phenomena that exists within you. And this dream came at a time where which was actually recently, I've been battling this idea of roboticism within my work, and feeling as if that I'm on autopilot, that everything is just so regimented, everything is just so structured, and there's no flow, it's just robotic. And I remember even saying these words to my wife, Nika, over the last months before even having this dream. And mermaids, for me, they've always represented the feminine, the beauty, the feminine impulses, the intuition, the feeling. And it is a merging of them too. And it's as if that the only way that I can overcome my roboticism in life, my roboticism within work, or within how I conduct my business and my service, is to apply the inner feminine, the powerful inner feminine, not to fight it on the level of feminism. We see that in feminism, the masculine of the female trying to battle the masculine of the male. And it's a fight that they're only going to lose, and that is quite destructive. But instead, I must merge with it, that a part of my feminine nature, my intuition, my feeling, must merge into the robotic nature of myself. And in doing so, you don't deny or suppress anything, but you create a synthesis of something that can flow, but also contain and have structure, so that the masculine aspects of my work can function, whilst also the feminine side. And that was the overall interpretation. We could get into the specifics, but that was my personal connection. But I realized that there is an archetypal connection to this. There is a connection that the collective must go through this process. The robot on a collective level can represent what is emerging within humanity now, which is this war machine, this archetype, this egregore of energy that is, we must merge with machine, and that machine will control us. And that in order for humanity to progress, we must merge with technology. There is a sort of archetype of the robot there, the war machine. We see governments around the world using robots and machines to gain power, to disable their enemies, and it's like cyber warfare, all this stuff is the number one thing that most countries are trying to develop now, because it gives them advantage. And it's almost as if the collective need to realize that this robotic, this archetype that is possessing the collective, it needs the powerful symbol of the feminine, the feeling, the intuition, the motherly aspect, to bring perspective to the robot, to not fight it, but to merge with it. And in that merging, there's perspective, and then there's flow, and there's understanding. And I feel like this is a collective image that we all face right now, is humanity's on this stream of consciousness, which isn't a divine. It's not a divine river in a way. It's a river that has its fallen energies within it. But the divine has its pause, and it has its imprint in everything, in the darkest and most evil places. And so the mermaids come from the deep, deep unconscious, the soul of the collective. And it shows us what we must do, that we must not see them as equal, like the feminism stuff, where you go in and you say, I'm going to battle you for my equality. But you must go in and we must begin feeling again. We must begin intuiting again. We must begin flowing again. And only then, when this merge happens, can humanity have perspective and clarity over where we must go next. So although this was there could be a personal connection to this dream, which I 100% believe there was, there's also an archetypal collective thing. And that's why I'm making this video, because I find that it's really, really important. And so it also gives you perspective of how you decode dreams and how you can go about that. One of the things that I want to teach you guys is how to start looking at your dreams in a different way. The river, the waters often represents the unconscious. It's also a little bit more feminine. And this boat, this dark black boat, is also a part of the unconscious. It's something that is going unseen. Submarines, they go unseen. They go underwater. They go undetected. And that's the undetected fast-flowing archetype, which is the man must merge with machine. And if we're not careful, we will be robotic, and we will become it. And the cities are the masses, right? The city represents the masses on both sides of the river. And so this is a mass, this is a collective thing. But deep within the unconscious, which is often where the gold lies, which is where the soul is, because the water represents the unconscious. So deep within that, the deeper you go, you reach the soul, you reach the divine, is the suppressed feminine. We've lived in a very patriarchal world for many centuries, and the feminine has been deeply, deeply suppressed. So the mermaid is a very powerful sign of the feminine. It's also half fish, which also represents the Pisces, which is interesting because this dream came in a time where I don't know much about astrology, but there is this axis between Pisces and Virgo, and Virgo is the structure, Virgo is the ordinary, it's the mundane, it's the rigidity, it's the organization, whereas Pisces is the fish. It's also the deep knowledge, it's the feminine, it's the motherly intuition and sacredness. And it came at a time where the world is going through those energies. The axis of those energies are battling each other, opposing each other. And so I find it very fitting to have a dream like this, which is also another reason why I'm sharing it. So that is one of the ways, in a very interesting way, or that is how you begin to start looking at your dreams as symbolic messages, as ways in which we can navigate our lives and move forward, and gives us clarity in what we must express, bring forward, make conscious, so that we can gather more discernment, so that we can go towards the soul and listen to our soul's calling. And only then can we be of the greatest divine service. Only then can we say, truly, that I'm living my purpose and why I've come here on earth. So I wanted to share that with you. It's very personal. So I would love to hear your thoughts about it. Also, let me know if you've had any really interesting dreams recently. Feel free to share them. Feel free to give us your analysis. And if you're interested in more of this content, do the same old thing. Like, subscribe, comment below, share the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.